What is up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to share my top 3 tips to help you increase the amount of pull-ups you can do as well as the quality of those pull-ups. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So pull-ups are one of my favorite exercises, and for good reason. The compound movement works pretty much your entire upper body, and it is second to none in terms of increasing overall strength and fitness in a person. So tip number 1 is going to be practice harder variations, because when you practice harder variations of the exercise, the normal variation becomes a lot easier. So say you're trying to go from being able to do 5 consecutive pull-ups to 10 consecutive pull-ups, and these are just normal reps, nothing special added. So instead of just doing 20 or 30 a day instead of before doing 10 or 20 a day, so instead of just blindly just increasing the amount of reps you're doing, you're going to go and do less reps, but then make those harder reps. So instead of doing normal pull-ups, try doing explosive pull-ups. I've made videos on explosive pull-ups in the past, but to sum it up, you basically just pull as hard as you can and you try and get your chest to touch the bar instead of your chin. So you're just pulling as hard as you can every single rep. This exercise is a lot harder. And if you do that enough, if you get good at those, normal pull-ups feel so much easier and you're able to do so many more of them. So instead of doing 20 normal pull-ups a day, do 5 to 10 explosive pull-ups as hard as you can. Or do wide pull-ups, or try to develop your muscle up. Do something that's a lot harder than a normal pull-up so that normal pull-up becomes easier over time. So that's tip number 1. We're moving on to tip number 2. So tip number 2 is increase the tempo of your pull-ups or decrease the tempo of your pull-ups. So one of the main reasons people don't improve the amount or can't improve the amount of pull-ups, of consecutive pull-ups that they're doing, is because they do the same thing over and over again, and your body will eventually become accustomed to that and not improve. So the first tip is to vary it, is to work your body in different ways to make the original exercise easier. So tip number 2 follows this logic. However, instead of a different variation, you're going to increase or decrease the speed. So for example, instead of doing 20 normal pull-ups, you're going to do 10 slow and then 10 really fast. Or you might do 10 slow and then 10 with a 3-second hold at the top with your chin at the bar. Something like that to increase or decrease the speed will vary, the exercise will vary the parts of your body that it works, and overall make that original exercise feel easier as well as increase the amount of reps you're able to do. So tip number 3, this one's more general, but you must incorporate pull-ups into your daily routine. So I personally do between 60 and 80 pull-ups a day as part of my normal routine. And before I did this, I could do maybe 10, 15 consecutive pull-ups. Now I can do 25, and that's pushing 30. So just doing a lot of exercises per day will, over time, if you do it enough, especially if you vary those daily exercises you're doing, can increase the total amount of reps you're able to do by so much. So I suggest have a pull-up bar near your house, get a door one, just something that's very, very accessible. Then when you wake up, go and do some sets. And right before bed, do some sets. So that way you can very easily incorporate it into your daily routine, and after enough time, it feels normal, it feels just commonplace, and you look back several months later and realize that you got a lot better without realizing it. So to sum it up, tip number 1 is change the type of pull-up that you're doing. Tip number 2 is to change the tempo, and tip number 3 is to incorporate pull-ups into your daily routine. So that's the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think of this in the description. Let me know what kind of videos you want. Any questions you have, leave it down there. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos. Also check me out on Instagram if you haven't already. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.